Alright, so the Volvo B230 alternator is installed. This is a good 60, or I think it's an 80 amp alternator, depending on them. Big upgrade from the OEM one. We had issues with the car having quite a big voltage drop at idle, to the point where it was kind of lugging the system down, mainly because we're running a lot more amps than what normally would happen. With our wasted spark, we're not running just one coil, we're running 2 coils at a time. And we have our electric power steering, control valve. All this stuff is adding up to the point where we're barely holding like 11.89 volts while this is running, which means that alternator is just absolutely trying to run the best it can. And the other thing too is it's externally regulated. Now we're going with one that's internally regulated. It's a bit cleaner, and Volvo B230s have been on the road from the, I think, 70s to late 90s. So it's a very common alternator to get. And it was laying around here. It's actually walking over there looking for a charge cable, and I saw that alternator in that bin, and it looked a whole lot better than that Ford one. So I don't know if I'll put it in before or after this, but just making the brackets and installing it, it seemed to line up pretty well. It's just the 2 pieces of flat bar that go up, and then a very precise amount of 1 nut and 1 3/8 washer. It was a through bolt to hold it in. That's just 3/16 aluminum. This is something anyone could do with a drill and a hacksaw, really. Just stack drill the flat bar so the holes are the same on both of them. You should be fine. I think it was like 2 3/8 or a little bit under 2 5/16 for our bolt spacings, but you do have a little bit of tolerance going up or down. I mean, I'm not too sure if going up or down would give you more clearance here. Once the car cools down, we're definitely going to have to readjust our position for our radiator hose, and I had to bend the fuel line in. So the wiring aspect of this, I went and grabbed my power cable that was off the Ford Crown Vic that I was using on the Ford Capri, and I used that because it has the fusible links. And I mean, most of the time, this is all going to get cleaned up, but most of the time you never need the fusible link. But if something goes horribly wrong, the fusible link will save this car from burning to the ground. So yeah, alternators can be fucking pretty hectic if things go wrong in the wrong ways. So yeah, we just kind of teed it onto that little junction box on the solenoid for the starter. And then we followed a guy's diagram of how to bypass the external voltage regulator, which we did. It's pretty straightforward. It's a lot of colored pictures. Everything's there and easy to get. This is a switch 12 volts, and then this is the charge light. You connect these two together and it will get rid of the fucking flies are everywhere right now because it's blueberry farm we're on. But yeah, so it will get rid of the charge light issue. But we have this on to our other pin, which is our, I guess, our load cell. So what kicks on the alternator. I haven't been able to test everything because the belts I've been kind of picking. This is the shortest one I have, and it's way too long. I did try pushing on a screwdriver onto it, or actually a ratchet in the right direction to work as an idler to get it tight, and we were getting 12.3 volts, but I mean also it was not really holding it that tight. But nevertheless, so we have our main charge going there, which then goes to the battery, and then we have this guy, which then will see the voltage, and it should just keep the circuit going and problem free. And then the other pin is just a secondary ground, which the chassis harness has. There's one to the block or the head there, and then another one there, and they just go off everywhere in this whole car. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Our belts are nice and true. They're straight to each other. I mean, even being super fucking loose, it didn't throw the belt when I was kind of running it around. Oh yeah, I put some washers in here because we had to space it out a little bit, and then just a through bolt there with a nut for that. And it's rock solid. It moves with the engine. I mean, I used it to pry that fuel line back in a little bit because it was close, and it rocked the engine before it bent into these brackets. We'll see how it goes long term, but this is hopefully going to fix all my issues, and it's fun using parts lying around the shop to get things going. So yeah, I was actually going over there, and yeah, I saw the alternator in the bin of goodies from, I believe, Mike's original B230 engine from his Volvo 240, which is long gone. So he might not need it, but now he actually has a Volvo with a B230, so he might actually need it. But we'll probably just go and buy another one off of eBay if this works out fine, and then he'll be good to go if he ever needs it, or if I ever need it. But it's a tractor engine, so it's getting tractor engine parts. So, although I think the B230 is a fancier tractor engine than the L28, that's for sure. But yeah, before I ramble on too much, that's it. We'll get the belt and we'll probably test it tomorrow to make sure we can actually get this thing chooching with good voltage. But I don't see why it won't work. It might just be a little bit of fiddle fucking around with that charge wire, and we'll go from there. So yeah, smell you later.